So we have chapter 2 of Nighthawk Returns now out. You guys can now go and read it. And we learned some things in this chapter about what is going on behind the scenes and why they need her back and everything. And it's just hilarious, again, because there's a lot of great comedy and we get another badass scene with her. So let's get to it. So obviously last chapter we know that she now needs the money. She went to the grocery store to see him to be able to, get the job back. So she comes in and she's like, I want my job back. But obviously I don't want to do anything. I want something that's simple, easy, pays me a lot and that. And old mate's like looking at her like you screw with me, right? But she's being dead serious. Like he agrees that they should do something short, but then she goes, he's like, because you are, well, and she goes, too fat to move like used to. And he's like, yes. My boy just straight up told her, yeah, you're too fat. You're too fat to go on the stuff that you used to do. Absolutely hilarious. I love it. And then she just loses the plot here. She just goes in on him and talks about how, her body is way hotter than the unrealistic bitches. It's hilarious. It's so good. And, she talks about how guys love their women with a little bit of extra to grab. I mean, no one's disputing that, people. Like, come on. You aren't disputing that. Everyone loves a little bit to grab. Like, come on. We're all like that. We're built like that. She also comments about how she kicked his ass yesterday, which she did. She did beat his ass, which was hilarious as well. He asked, can you fit into your work clothes again? And she's like, you fucking bet I can. I love this moment where she's like bent over trying to find her clothes and stuff like that. And he's like, damn, her ass is huge. Hilarious, because this is just the moment where something like that would go through someone's mind when this situation happens. And she's talking about how it's nostalgia. That he's like, that is filthy. It's absolutely dirty. So she goes and tries to put it on, and this is what she ends up looking like with it all on. Obviously it doesn't quite fit like it did last time, but I really like the paneling like this, where it showcases the now and back when she was actually in her prime as an assassin and how it fit and how it looked. And you can see the subtle details of how it looks dirty compared to when it was bloody and stuff like that. I think this paneling was great choice to showcase that and just the change that she's going on. And you could notice the arm here compared to this bit of this arm. There's definitely more meat on this arm than there is on this one. And I think that's just, it's really, really cool contrast, and the way and the choice and the creativity to do something like that, I think was just absolutely the correct decision to do. So then he decides, look, you need to get closer back to your original where you were. You need to drop. She went on the scales and that she's 18 kilos heavier than she was. And he's like, you need to go work hard. So he sends her running. And, obviously running, it's not for everyone. I personally don't like running without a purpose. That's why I like to just play sport, because then I have a purpose for the running. So then because I like running in sport. I like testing myself, my limits, how fast I can go, how long I can go for before I, fully exhausted and stuff like that. But when it's just straight running with no purpose in that, with no goal there to get a ball or something like that, then it's very, very hard. But it's hilarious. And he talks about how cardio is the fastest one, and she's going to meet him in this area. So she starts running. It's hilarious. So then she gets to the place where she's getting some free water, and she notices this young girl, and she's like, oh, she's the, cute and everything like that. I used to be like that, man. And then she starts reminiscing about how, whoa, it would be great to be young again. But then this guy comes along, and he's got this insane way to look up her skirt, where he nudges accidentally. When I say accidentally, he accidentally nudges his basket, but it's got a phone in there, and he takes pictures and he sends them for money and stuff like that. But she obviously notices this, and she grabs it off him, and she's like, oh, okay. Wow, you have so many. She just I didn't know smartphones could do that. This is freaking brilliant what she does here. And the creativity of the paneling that is about to happen was great. I love this choice, and it showcases you just how devastating she truly is. So he threatens, give it back, you bitch. And she's like, I'm tired of people just walking all over me. She's fed up at this point. The guy's making her do all this stuff. She's like, and then she's like, do you know who I am? Obviously, I don't think this guy has a single idea of who she is. So she starts the beatdown, and the way that this fight goes, I really like. So the phone is recording at the same time, and it records the fight. Like, just look how freaking awesome this is. Like, this is such a clever way to represent this, and it showcases you just how insane she truly is. Like, look at her go. She's just absolutely whooping this guy. I love this panel as well. I think this panel is freaking awesome. Like, just look at the detail. It's fantastic. Man, that kick is ferocious. She is whooping this guy. Like, she just gives this guy the absolute beat down that she talks about, like, when she's looking at the footage and that she's like, oh, my ass is actually really big. She's like, my back's killing me. She's like, should I report this? I don't know. And then she goes through it. She's like, wow, this guy actually has been on a rampage with this stuff. He's a serial perv. And then it pans to this guy again, and something happens. This is where we start to understand there's a lot more underneath, behind the scenes, that we didn't know about and that she doesn't know about. We have this guy come up, and it seems like he's got a gun to him, and they talk about how, oh, this CEO died and everything, and he's like, how do you think this really happened? He was shot. It wasn't cardiac arrest. And this is where he starts to talk about how their industry, the assassin industry, is getting too rowdy. And, you know, he mentions a war that is going on, like this turf war sort of thing that's happening in the city and stuff like that, and how they're taking contracts for overseas and everything now. And this was a cop, apparently. And he even makes it like, oh, even public security now noticed that there's a turf war is getting, like, how big it's getting. And so he threatens him. He's like, look, man, I'm going to leave you with this warning, let your people know, like, we're not standing for this anymore. So there's so much happening behind the scenes that we don't know about either. And then he's like, wait a second, she's late as well. Like, what the hell? Did she just go home or something? And she turns up. And she turns up eating because she stole the guy's money out of his wallet that she just beat up to buy food. And he's just like, what? He's like, I sent you running to lose weight, not to eat and gain weight. And I just think this is absolutely hilarious. And then obviously a war zone, everything like that is getting mentioned in that. And she's like, yeah. So it's all unraveling before us. I thought this chapter was absolutely hilarious. I'm actually really liking it. First two chapters have been fantastic. I'm laughing. I'm having a great time. I think it's fantastic. I think the artwork is great. I really, really like the artwork. I really like the creativity of the paneling as well. I am so excited to see where this story is going to go. I think it's just comedy gold. And to see, you know, she's still a badass in that. But I love the banter that's going on between these two and that. Yeah, I just think it's a really, really fun series at the moment. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the next chapter? Do you like chapter 2? Maybe you didn't, maybe you didn't. Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button for me as well. It really, really helps me out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.